Hello there, welcome on my channel. If you're back, hello, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Irene, and yeah, I make speed build videos on YouTube in The Sims. I really love building tropical builds, modern builds, fantasy builds, yeah, just anything that comes to mind, and I hope you will stick around for a bit. Maybe binge watch a playlist if you want. But yeah, for now, let's get into this house. Today I am building my eco house. Finally, I've had that planned for so long. And yeah, I felt a little bit insecure about it because I didn't know anything about eco living or eco building. So Wikipedia was my friend yesterday. I did some research. I wrote a couple of, let's call them requirements down for eco building and eco living, and I really tried to incorporate that into this build. And yeah, I was a little bit limited, of course, because The Sims 4 doesn't have every single item that I wish for. I wish it had, but it hasn't. And I never use CC, I never use mods, and I didn't do it in this build as well, to be truly honest. I have no idea how to install CC or mods or things like that in the game. I've been playing the game since The Sims 1 and I never used CC. So in this build there wouldn't be any CC as well. So yeah, we don't have solar panels or water reservoirs or wind turbines or things like that. If I'm remembering it correctly, when the laundry day pack came, we were able to vote on a new pack. As a community, we could vote which pack we wanted next. And yeah, laundry day 1, I really love the laundry day pack. I don't put washing machines in every single build, but I really love the chairs and the benches and the shelf things from the pack as well. But yeah, eco living was very high on that list as well. I think it came in second. And yeah, I would be so happy with the eco pack as well. And yeah, let's just dream for a little bit for the next very big pack. Let's go with university with eco living items in it. It would be just the most amazing thing. But yeah, let's dream on. Because I don't think that will be happening. And I didn't have the items in this build. So I just made the best with what I had. And yeah, at the beginning I started with, I think, a little bit of an important thing in eco building, and I found it all on Wikipedia. I didn't knew it before as well, but it's a good thing to have your glazing and your windows and stuff like that on the south side of your build, because you want to attract the heat in, and you don't want to place windows at the north side because then you're losing heat. Just on a side note, this build is in the beautiful world of Sulani in the island living pack. And yeah, of course, that's a tropical world, so it will be very hot over there as well. And I'm not sure if you have all the big windows on the south in the tropical world. Maybe it's way too hot inside, but I wanted to use this lot because I think it's a very cool lot and a very pretty lot. But for all the requirements with the glazing and stuff like that, it could be perfect for an other world as well, and you can place it in an other world as well if you want. Maybe you want to change some tropical flowers and tropical plants, but yeah, you can place it in the other world as well. Of course, it will be available on the gallery for download, so you can download it and put it in your game if you want. But yeah, let's go back to the glazing at the south side of this build. I had to figure out where the south side was in this world, of course, and we don't have anything like that is showing it us. So yeah, I watched where the sun came up and where the sun goes down, and it actually came up at the back of this build, a little bit in an angle. So yeah, the back of this build is the south side, the front of this build also in the angle from the right side is the west, or no, that's actually the south. So the build is actually facing the southwest. So yeah, I really wanted to do that. I also wanted to use very natural materials. So there will be a lot of wood, a lot of stone in this build. I really try to avoid using plastics or PVCs or things like that. And yeah, the most used thing, and I'm placing it in right now, is the concrete. And I had to do some research about concrete because I wasn't sure if concrete really was good for the environment or bad for the environment. I think the end of the whole thing was it's a little bit in the middle. It's better than other materials, but then I found something that was called or is called eco concrete. So yeah, let your fantasy run wild a little bit, and let's just say every single concrete that is used in this build is eco concrete. And the same for the glazing. It's very good to use triple layered glazing in eco builds, in eco houses. So this glazing is 3 layers thick. And yeah, another important point in eco living was, and I will quote it, let's see, the geothermal heating and growing plants on the roof to regulate. Yeah, so long story short, you just want to have a lot of plants and growing things, flowers, and the roofs of your build. So I've done that in this build as well. I've done that before. I really like the look of it. And yeah, I wanted to give this whole build a very natural feel with a lot of plants, a lot of greens. I also made a garden at the back of the build, like a vegetable patch to use for your own food. And I used the debug mode to place in some plants already, or some full-grown avocado trees and some other trees that were from the Jungle Adventure pack. But as I was mentioning, you have to use the debug mode for that. Debug menu is actually a menu where you have a lot of hidden items. I think there are items that the makers used to create the world, but there also is like plates or glasses or a lot of hidden objects, and you can access that menu by typing in the cheat box. First, to let the cheat box appear, you have to use Ctrl-Shift-C on your keyboard, and then you want to type in bb.show hidden objects. And in that way I could place some full-grown trees in. And I've done that at the back, so there will be a vegetable patch over there. And something that was also a point of requirement was rainwater harvesting. And I've done that in the way of a pond at the front of the build. And that pond, it gave me a little bit of trouble because my plan was to place this build on stilts. I really love the stilted foundation in the game that came with the Island Living pack. No, it didn't came with the pack, it came with a free update that was there at the same time as the Island Living pack. So you can all use the stilted foundation right now. But it gave me so much trouble. I was so frustrated because, as you can see, I'm playing around with it right now. And my plan was to raise up the house a little, but keep the pond at the same place where it is now. And I've cut a whole big part out of it. It was such a struggle. I cut it out of the video, but I wanted to raise the house up, but I couldn't place the stilted foundation at the part where the pond was also. It just didn't work, and I've tried so many things. I tried placing it in from the back, and no, it just didn't work. And it's a certain point I thought, maybe it is because you can't place ponds straight against foundation. I think you can place it straight against foundation, but you cannot place it straight against the poles. So I couldn't use it. So that's why this build isn't raised up or anything. And it was a little bit of a shame because there's actually another requirement that is called, I will quote it again, higher than normal levels of thermal insulation. And yeah, you want to build your house a little bit higher if you really wanted to build an eco house, but it wasn't possible with a layout that I'm having right now. And then I tried to place the pond a little bit more to the front, but I'm such a perfectionist and it just didn't look cool when you had the I really wanted to have the line straight with the front of the build. So yeah, long story short, it didn't work, so this house isn't raised up on poles, but I think it isn't that bad though. And yeah, I just created something like a pathway in the pond. As you can see, you cannot really walk on them, on the stones, because I actually used the stone tables from the outer retreat pack. A couple of builds ago, I really used them so much in every single of my builds, but yeah, the last builds I've done, I didn't use them that much. In the whole world of Sulani, I think I never used them. So I really wanted to use them again, and yeah, I thought it would be cool to create a pathway or something like that. So that's what I've done with it. And yeah, this is also a part in the series that is actually going on my channel right now, my Rebuilding Sulani series. I am building something on the 14 different lots that are in the world of Sulani, the world from the Island Living pack. And I think this is my 9th build already. So yeah, I'm more than halfway. I still have 5 builds to do. And one of them is actually a lot on the volcano side. And I have so many plans for it and I can't decide which one to use. So that will be up in the future on my channel. And yeah, I'm also going to do a lot of different builds in different worlds, of course. But there's a lot of island living going on my channel right now. But I promise you there will be a lot of different builds and a lot of different builds in different worlds as well in the near future. And yeah, as you could just saw me doing, and I'm on it right now again, I've placed a lot of plants in this build. I thought it would be fitting for eco living, a lot of greens, a lot of plants. There's even a kind of an indoor garden, and yeah, a lot of plants on the roofs as well, as I was mentioning. And I actually had a little bit of a struggle with them as well, because there are some tile-shaped, I don't know if that's the right word yet, tile-shaped Hawaiian grass, I think it's called. Hawaiian grass. I'm still not sure if it's grass or grass. One of the things is something different, I know. But well, I've used the Hawaiian grass and I've placed that in and I've sized it up a little bit. But even when I wasn't sizing it up, when I was zooming out of the build, the whole plants were just glitching out and yeah, just forming a green blur, and it was so ugly. And I don't know why that is happening, because there are a lot of like that square patches with flowers and I've used them a lot and they never do that, and all the other of the patches didn't do that as well. But the thing from the Island Living pack, yeah, when you're placing it in and you want to zoom out your build, it just glitches out. I don't know what's happening with that. So yeah, I had to remove that, and I was placing just the green bushes from the Island Living pack in. I really using them in every single one of my builds. I think they're very cool and they don't glitch out when you zoom out or anything like that. And now I'm onto the vegetable patch or the garden patch at the back of this build. This is actually a very, very modern build. So yeah, I've put these things in. They are from the Get Together pack and I think they're just so well made. I think they look amazing with the glass and they're just so fine with the whole black metal look. I wasn't that sure if metal was that of a natural material. So maybe, it isn't that eco-appropriate. I'm not sure, but I thought it looked like a greenhouse and I thought a greenhouse would be eco-appropriate. So yeah, that's why I've placed them in. And as you can see over here, I talked about it about them just a couple of minutes ago. These plants, these trees, they're already full grown, so it's very easy to use them. And I wanted to place a bee box, yeah, it is a bee box. In my head, I immediately when I say bee box, I get beatboxing in my things that you do with your voice. Well, but I meant a bee box. And yeah, for the rest of this build, you can see how I am building the interior. I wanted to give it a very warm feel, but I wanted to use a lot of wood and a lot of concrete as well. And yeah, I used a lot of yellow tones and green tones, and yeah, I think it turned out well. Keep watching this video if you want to see that, because I think I am rounding up for now. I just wanted to explain you some things what I've done with the eco living thing, and then just let the building speak for itself. So that's what I'm going to do now. I wanted to talk to you or tell you something about the windows that I've used, that I've just placed in. They are from the Spa Day pack and they are amazing. I think they're so pretty. There are different wood colors and yeah, they're so cool. I will use them in the interior as well a couple of times. And yeah, if you want to see me do the interior, keep on watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please give it a like or a comment, or if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. I would appreciate it so much. And for everybody that already has subscribed, I'm so happy with you. Oh, you couldn't even imagine how happy I am that you are here. And yeah, thank you. I hope you will have an amazing day today. The weather in Holland is great. It's warm, so I think I'm going to do some sunbathing again. And yeah, I hope to talk to you very, very soon. Maybe in my next build. And yeah, goodbye.